It's property tax time in the city. We'll explain a letter you may have received with your bill from the city of Madison.
That letter in part blames the state for a local tax increase. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Carlson.
And I'm Eric Franke. It all has to do with how much money local governments get from the state each year. News 3's Jess Garp explains how it all ties together and what it means for everybody's tax bill. Jess?
Well, each year, local governments like the city of Madison get what's called shared revenue from the state, or a portion of state income taxes shared to help cover government costs. This year, Madison took a 25% cut in shared revenue, and the mayor says that's part of why your tax bill may have gone up this year. Consider it the mark of the year's end, property tax bills being paid in City Hall, a task that Charles Quackenboss says wasn't as hard as he expected.
It was up about $150 over last year. I think that is outstanding.
City of Madison taxes went up 3.7% this year, and in a letter with tax bills, Mayor Paul Soglin says that's primarily because of a cut in state aids.
There is no question that the state's shared revenue decisions have driven up the property taxes here in Madison. There's no question about it.
Soglin makes the case that the formula to figure out local aids needs to change. Although Madison is the second largest city in the state, it gets the 15th most shared revenue.
The formula was well intended, to deal with issues of population and poverty. But it was always assumed that the state would be fair in terms of the funding.
Todd Berry of the Wisconsin Taxpayers Alliance says that's exactly why Madison gets less, because it is considered a property wealthy city.
Either the appropriation has to be made larger so Madison will compete for some money, or they've got to take it away from poorer communities like Milwaukee, Beloit, Racine to give it to Madison. So it's a little unfair to suggest that the state is entirely to blame here.
But as Quackenboss looks at his bill, he thinks the city should get more money too.
You must consider the city services to all the state buildings, and I don't believe we received the amount of money that we should for that.
Now, Soglin and Berry say the other problem is that the funding formula hasn't really been used since the early 2000s. The Legislative Fiscal Bureau confirms that local aids have been flat or cut multiple times since the early 2000s under both Governors Doyle and Walker.
Answering a big question for folks tonight, Jess. Thank you very much.